Yeah, we got a text.
It's Ian's fault.
We got a text.
Let's talk about
I saw it. I saw the text. I'm waiting for him to acknowledge it.
but I will say this about NVIDIA. You have to really like NVIDIA. If you believe in the AI story, right? If you believe in the story of AI and you have people like Bill Gates who's saying that AI will be the most important technology in human history.
For sure.
And you have, like I said, I mean, China is investing in their youth when they teaching 6-year-olds artificial
They're
intelligence.
investing in the education of it.
If you believe in AI, if you believe in the story of AI, if you believe that AI will be the future, right? If you believe that, you have to like NVIDIA when it's almost 45% down.
There's nothing to talk
There's
about.
only 3 companies that matter in the AI race.
There's nothing to
NVIDIA's
talk
the
about. The numbers that it's at now, I mean, what it was at today, there really isn't nothing to talk about. Even if you're not buying options, you should be having shares of it for sure.
What's the 3 companies that matter in the AI race? TSM,
NVIDIA,
and Microsoft?
TSM, and then probably Broadcom fourth as a dark horse. Those are the 3 though. NVIDIA, TSM, Microsoft for sure.
Those are the ones that are leading for sure. Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going. And I want to be clear because I brought the NVIDIA trade up before y'all. Everybody wants to get jacketed. The next 10 years, they are going to have the lion's share of the AI race. Trust me. We just left GTC. Want to remind you, there is no close competitor.
No.
No. Told AMD, Lisa, maybe time. Hey, bundle it up. The Intel.
We got to talk to Lisa. I got to call Lisa.
AMD is looking very.
I got
shambles.
I got shares.
Shambles.
1,000 shares.
Shambles. But that's why SMH is good because it's always risky when you own individual stocks. Individual stocks are risky. That's just across the board. So the ETFs provide more diversification and it provides a safety net. And you can still be specific. I'm only investing in this company, this sector, right? But SMH, you would have been better with SMH than with AMD specifically. AMD is
it's having a tough time.
Free falling.
Having a tough time.
Now is not the time to invest in outlier. I know somebody asked about quantum. There are no real quantum players that are in the lead yet. And please don't invest in the 6 or 7 best AI company. You are going to get demolished if China retorts and say, okay, 80% tariffs on you.
Yeah, I just don't know where it stops. Right? Like where does it stop? We're at 104 now.
104% for China?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that before we end this tariffs conversation. So Trump announced that China announced 35% retaliatory tariffs yesterday, 2 days ago, on top of the tariff that they already have on America. And in response, Trump told them, like, don't
if you respond.
Trump, this guy's legendary. He drops the tariffs last week and says no country, it would be wise not to respond. Don't even think about it. China responds. He said, I told you not to respond. 50% additional tariffs on you guys by Wednesday if you don't take away the 34%. That would bring the total tariffs to China to 102%?
104.
104%. 104% on tariffs for China. The crazy thing about this is that, I'm building a home right now, and it's been a rush on people that's trying to build homes, like as far as little stuff that you don't even think about. The faucets for the sink, bathtubs, shower heads, all that stuff comes from overseas. So they're already sending out emails like these furnitures and appliances places are already sending out emails like, please expect at least a 20% increase due to inflation. My GC, I asked him about the wood, and he told me, he said, yo, it's a good thing that you already, purchased it, because if you was buying it now, it would be at 20%. It's coming from Canada. Higher. Now, I've spent over $100,000 in wood. So that's $20,000. That's a lot of money. So 104% tariffs, that's crazy. So what's the deal with this?
China just replied now and said pressure and threats are not the way to engage. The thing in any fight, in any war, I'm never worried about the person who acts the toughest. I'm worried about the person who's going to be a calm and measured killer. Other than the army part, China has us dead to rights. Arguably, and if you're looking at the Apple issue, by 34, put in ChatGPT. what is the probability of Huawei surpassing Apple as the #1 smartphone in the world by 2034? They're playing at a different level.
They got a chance for sure.
So I think this is what happens when you lead with ego and not strategy. A lot of times, like my mom and dad be like, hey, measure 4 times, cut 1. And if you choose to go to war, don't just factor in what you're going to do on your attack. What are they going to do to reply to you? Everyone always wants to be the shooter and a tough guy. What are you going to do when they shoot back and there's 19 of them that's shooting at you? This is not sustainable and not a time that we should be doing this at a time when Dutch GDP is at its highest. Americans have fallen out of love with America. Our job market is weak. And when we get to the point where, like, even the deep fake thing, that was a fictional at worst and had some sauce on it at best, and moved our market damn near into bear correction territory off of a rumor. This Walter Bloomberg thing sent the market up off of a rumor. It tells you how weak our economy is. So if he doesn't come forward with some fair deals, it's going to be over with for us. And at some point, that party is going to have to decide if they're going to make him step down or not.
That's why I said, at some point, when does Congress step in? Because they do have they can change this.
Well, I spoke to a congressperson today.
They're not going to change it.
No, they
and what happened?
What they said was that they're going to try to put pressure on the speaker, and then
Mike Johnson,
the speaker came out and said that he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. But I will say this, because I know this is something that can. So okay. So yes, we told you guys some stocks that you might be able to buy, right? We told you some ETFs that you might be able to buy. We told you that, yeah, you got to put money into the market. But the other question is, should I sell stocks right now? If I have a 401k, should I be cashing out? I heard this lady told me the other day that she was like, I lost too much money in my 401k. I seen it going down. I cashed out. Like, I just put it in the money market. Don't sell. Hold the line. Hold the line. Do not. The number one rule is don't sell when you're down. Please. That is the number one thing. Do not sell when you're down. Wait it out. If you can wait it out, wait it out. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. It might take 5 years. I don't know, depending on what you're invested in. But man, try not to sell. This is just a golden rule. Try not to sell when you're down, because that you're never going to have an opportunity to make that money back, right? So usually, if you're invested correctly, you'll get back to where you were previously. Like I said, it might take some time, but don't panic sell. Panic selling is highly unrecommendable. Warren Buffett, when he sold, that's different. He's already up. He made a bunch of money. He's selling profit and he's sitting on cash. He's not selling when you just down 40% in a long-term hold. Now, if you're in an option, that's a little different. But if you're in a long-term hold
Investment, yeah,
especially something like a retirement account, do not liquidate. Don't liquidate your position.
It's true.
hold
the line.
The only exception to that rule would be is if you're about to retire in less than 6 months.
Well,
that was going to the question, because I know this is something that you've dealt with, obviously, with having clients in your past, is that some people will say that I don't have the time, right? Like I'm retiring next year, or I'm about to retire. If, like you said, maybe June is my last day, especially if I'm in education. Some people will say I don't have the time.
You shouldn't be invested in that anyway. So that's the thing.
It's conservative at that time.
So in retirement, you want to be aggressive when you're young and conservative when you get older. You shouldn't be aggressive when you're older anyway. So you should at the very least probably be in a 50-50 portfolio anyway. But
real quick, even that's fucking decaying.
No, but the losses is not going to be the same.
I agree.
Right? It's not going to be the same. Like if you lose
35% or 38%
in a bond account, it's not going to be 45% in the tech account. That's life changing, right? So that's important for you guys that's close to retirement to understand. You got to reallocate your positions over the course of time, and you got to go into secure vehicles. Sometimes you got to go into annuities. You got to have guaranteed income. Like this. That's on the financial planning side. You shouldn't be 100% in stocks, in tech stocks,
upon retirement.
65 years old when you're about to retire. Like that's not advisable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the option account probably not the best thing right now.
And I'll say this too, given all the contagion that's been happening the last 2 weeks, the VIX got to 45,
It's at 50 today.
hit 50. I told everyone put in chat, what's the key level I told you at Invest Fest where it's time to start buying last
Yeah.
August? Get your tickets to Invest Fest.
Yeah.
Most of this route from the tariff war will be over in like 61 days or so. Set a timer.